The top stories: Ghanaian diplomat stresses Adwa's significance for Africa's future and collective advancement. And Kazakhstani diplomatic ties with Ethiopia show impressive growth since 2019, says outgoing ambassador. Ladies and gentlemen, this is EBC World English News. Many thanks for watching us, and I'm Aluto-Langano. Now, Ethiopia and Sweden have agreed to deepen their collaboration in the justice sector. The announcement came following talks between Foreign Affairs State Minister Adwa and the Swedish Deputy Minister of Justice Anders Hall. Ambassador Adwa highlighted the long-standing relationship between the two nations, emphasizing the importance of expanding their cooperation, particularly in the areas of capacity building and judicial reforms. According to the Ethiopian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the two officials also discussed ways to further enhance bilateral ties, aiming for a more robust partnership moving forward. The Kazakhstani ambassador to Ethiopia, Barlibey Sadikov, has highlighted the impressive growth in bilateral relations since his appointment in 2019, expressing optimism for continued progress. During his tenure, Ambassador visited various regions of Ethiopia, praising the nation's rich history and vibrant culture. Under his leadership, the two countries advanced diplomatic, economic, and cultural ties, culminating in a comprehensive roadmap to boost cooperation in multiple sectors. Since Kazakhstan established its embassy in Ethiopia in 2014, bilateral relations have flourished. A key milestone was the 2023 visit of former Ethiopian President Mulatu Teshome to Kazakhstan, which fostered discussions with government officials and the business community, particularly focusing on economic collaboration. The ambassador expressed confidence that the ongoing projects, including those in the coffee sector, will yield successful outcomes, and reaffirmed Kazakhstan's commitment to further strengthening ties with Ethiopia in the future. That's according to the Ethiopian news agency. Moving on, Argentina and Ethiopia have agreed to strengthen cooperation in the aviation sector. The agreement came after the Argentinian ambassador to Ethiopia visited the Ethiopian Civil Aviation Authority. During the meeting, the two officials focused on expediting the ratification of the Air Services Agreement, which was signed in Buenos Aires a month ago, with the goal of enhancing bilateral air connectivity between the two nations. Additionally, they explored the possibility of an Argentine company specializing in aircraft manufacturing, maintenance, and engineering opening a branch office in Addis Ababa. This move would further strengthen Argentina's presence in Africa's aviation sector and contribute to the region's development. The discussions also covered areas of collaboration at the International Civil Aviation Organization Council, signaling a shared commitment to advancing global aviation standards. This partnership makes a significant step in enhancing Ethiopia's aviation sector and fostering closer ties between the two countries, it was noted. And finally, the Ghanaian ambassador to Ethiopia and permanent representative to the African Union and the UNECA stresses that the central lesson of the Battle of Adwa is the unwavering commitment to one's beliefs, no matter the sacrifice required. The ambassador further emphasized that in today's context, the victory serves as a powerful reminder to continue the fight for Africa's advancement and to relentlessly pursue what is in the best interest of the continent. Tigisternisa reports.
The victory of Adwa, which occurred in 1896, is considered a significant turning point in African history because it marked the first decisive defeat of a European colonial power by an African force, effectively safeguarding Ethiopia's independence and inspiring anti-colonial movement across the continent, particularly through its role in invigorating Pan-Africanism. Talking to EBC World, Ghanaian ambassador to Ethiopia and permanent representative to the AU and African Union, Dr. Robert Afirie reiterated that one can take away from Adwa victory to stand firm on one's belief no matter the price to pay.
Well, the victory of Adwa is a major milestone in part of Africa's freedom wars. Of course, Adwa emerged totally victorious and it stopped the imperialist moves into Africa. Adwa, for me, I think the two key things to take away from Adwa is firstly that at a certain stage in life, a person or people should draw the line in the sand and say this is what we stand for, and we are prepared to pay the price. Because if you don't stand for something, you may fall for anything and die for nothing. And those who stood 129 years ago have made Ethiopia and Ethiopians and the rest of the world also take a second look. The second takeaway is, for us, our generation, what are we standing for? When all is said and done, our work will be done on this earth, all of us will leave. So it doesn't matter how long you live on this earth, you will have to leave. But what are we leaving behind? So for our generation, we have to stand and fight against poverty, fight against oppression. For me, even more importantly, fight to leave a legacy for the next generation. It may be difficult, but it's not impossible. And that is the challenge for Africa, and we've taken it up for our generation.
The ambassador further highlighted that for this time and age, the victory goes to tell to keep on fighting, looking out what's best for Africa.
I mean, history is not just about dates. We draw lessons. There's nothing new under the sun. Like I said, other parts also fought back. So it shows that we have to also be resilient in the face of today's challenges. But for Pan-Africanism, it fits into our total history. People of African descent, both those Africans now and those in the diaspora, we have always stood for something, fought throughout history. In the U.S., the people of African descent were those who formed the backbone of the civil rights movements. And for our time and age, it just goes to tell us we must keep on fighting and look out for the best for Africa and also for humanity to contribute to our quota.
With regard to African independence within multifaceted areas, he has stressed that the world is an interdependent place, that working level-based is needed to build capacities and also forge mutually beneficial cooperations.
I think it's more of two things. Look, a sense of self-perception. We have attained independence. It was not given on a silver platter. People fought for it. So it wasn't done as an act of benevolence. We were here, people came to impose, we sacked them away. So we have a measure of political independence. If you talk about things like food security, economics, etc., that's what we work on. And at the same time, forge proper corporations which are equal and then mutually beneficial.
By defeating Italy, Ethiopia challenged the widely held belief of European superiority and the inevitability of African colonization.
Well, dear viewers, you have been watching ABC World English News. Now a quick recap of the top stories. Ghanaian diplomat stresses Adwa's significance for Africa's future and collective advancement. And Kazakhstani diplomatic ties with Ethiopia has shown impressive growth since 2019, says outgoing ambassador. Well, dear viewers, that's all the news there is for now. Many thanks for watching us. Bye-bye.